And I like screamed. I was so excited. Astronomically high in price. Isn't it just so cool? Decided, I don't know, I'm crazy. Get your hands off my socks. These are mine. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Smash Knits Knitting Podcast. I am very excited today to come to you with the 16th episode. I'm actually a week early this month because I've got some really exciting news to share with you guys. I've actually got quite a few things to show you. Every time I feel like I set up, I feel like I don't actually have that much to talk about, but then when I make my notes, I'm like, oh yeah, I actually do have a lot. But before we get into everything, I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past and present. I am super excited for today. I don't even know where to start because there's so much to tell you guys. Maybe I'll start with what I'm wearing so you can see. This is actually the Creia Bayers merch. So Rebecca Clow released a couple of t-shirt designs. I bought both of them, but this is the one I'm wearing today, and it says Yarn Club. It says meet me at the local yarn shop, and it's so cute. It's got this little skein guy, and he's knitting on a little sock. It's so cute. I love it. It's so cute. I really think it's super cute. I ended up getting the largest size, which is super oversized on me. It comes down past my bum, so I'm feeling like this would be a really cute around the house or beach cover up. I'm already picturing a beach cover up, wearing this is over my bathers when I go to the beach, because it's so cute. And actually I didn't even realize my nails match it, so I love it. Yes, they come in quite a few sizes, and the shipping actually wasn't too bad. It was I think $15 Australian or something for shipping. But yeah, I'll have it linked down below. I have watched quite a few podcasters with yarny merch, and I've never bought anything, and I really wanted to get something, and I thought these are really cute tees, so got one for myself. The other design that she has is very similar, but it's a dark grey t-shirt, and on the back it's white, and it has something else, a different picture instead of this little guy. I don't know what his name is. I think she was trying to make up a name for him, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people had the same idea as me, and I was like, you have to call him Hank. Hank, you have to call it Hank. But I'm not too sure if that has been decided or not. I'm probably going to wear the other one in another video soon, so you'll see that one too. I've actually got my mug, my little sheepy mug that my friends got me for my birthday. And this actually does have Red Bull in it today because I need the energy. I was actually grooving to some tunes before I turned on the camera, and I was kind of didn't want to turn on the camera because I was living my best groovy life. But you know, the things I do for you guys. I think I'm procrastinating a little bit because I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before, but if you have been watching my channel for a while, you would have seen that Sarah from Sarah's Handmakes and me have kind of developed a friendship from being mutual watchers of each other's podcasts. And it's so interesting too because we have completely different styles and completely different color palettes when it comes to our knitting. But I think that's what first attracted us to each other, because we both just admired each other's color palette. She is very soft, neutral, beautiful kind of pastel colors and more muted tones, whereas I'm very loud and in your face and very bright colors. So we are very much at the different ends of the spectrum. But we would always comment on each other's videos being oh, I really admire your style, even though it's not my thing. I really love to try it, and oh, I love your sense of colors and things like that. We would always comment back and forth on each other's podcasts. And then we got talking, and we developed a friendship. And then we're you know what? It would be really good if we would just encourage each other to try each other's color palettes. She doesn't really go for bright colors, and I don't really go for neutrals that much, but we both kind of want to try it. Why don't we just give it a go? And then we thought, Sarah had a really great idea and was well, why don't we turn it into a KAL, a knit along? Why don't we do a knit along where we can also encourage other people to go outside of their comfort zone and knit something in a color that they usually wouldn't choose? And I thought, oh my God, that's such a good idea. I would love to. But I was also kind of nervous because I was like, I've never done I've only ever participated in like one KAL. I've never actually like run a KAL myself. So that's what we're going to do. So the KAL is called the Opposites Attract KAL. Very, very fitting because we're obviously attracted to the opposite color palette. And it will be running from the 17th of November to the 17th of February. And I think it's kind of cute because we did like opposites attract, and it's like a little heart. You'll see like the little graphic. I'll put it up on the screen. And I think it's kind of cute. Sarah pointed out, she's like, oh, it kind of ends near Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh my God, it does. It's so cute. Yes, so it's from the 17th of November to the 17th of Feb. So it gives you plenty of time to, you know, cast on a whip and finish it. It's not something where you only have to cast on. We are including existing whips. So if you've already started and you want to join the KAL, you are totally welcome to. But if you also want to cast on, that is totally cool as well. We're not doing any prizes or anything like that, but there will be like little activities and little features and kind of like spotlights of projects and stuff like that. And we'll give like tips and tricks on like choosing colors and how to work with like bright colors and neutrals and stuff like that. So we want to make it like really interactive KAL. We want it, you know, we don't want it just to be we set up the group chat and then nothing really goes from there. We want it to be like super interactive and engaging, and we just want this to be like fun, like not too serious. You know, I'm very excited to see what people choose as well. I'm really curious about like what people's like scary colors are. Like what are colors that people are scared of? Like I know like yellow, bright yellows are kind of a bit like for me, and like beige kind of colors are also kind of a bit nervous, which is why I've chosen a beige color, a nice beige. But yeah, like I'm just so excited to see what people end up making and choosing, and it's just a really fun place to come together and just like push ourselves to do something a little bit different. I think it's a lot easier to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone when you have other people there with you, encouraging you while you're going along. If you would like to participate in the KAL, comment down below with the love heart emoji and your Instagram handle so that we can add you to the KAL group chat over on Instagram. There'll also be an Instagram post, and if you want to comment on that, that will also prompt us to add you to the KAL. So either way, you want to do it. And then we also have the hashtag oppositesattractkal so that you can use that to tag all of your whips on Instagram if you post on social media and things like that. It's not mandatory to do that if you join the KAL, but it is just like fun to be able to see all of the projects in one place. I have already chosen the yarn that I'm going to use, and I've also chosen the pattern. So the yarn that I'm going to be using is the Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury 10 ply, which you might have seen this in my Bendigo haul when I went to Bendigo for the sheep show. But this is the color. I think it's called Stone. Yeah, Stone. So shade 343, and it's this beautiful kind of like greyish color. Like it's a greyy beige color, and I knew as soon as I saw this color that it was out of my comfort zone, but I know that I wanted something neutral I could like chuck on for work. But I think I've been like hesitant to do so because it's just not a color that I'm usually drawn to. I'm drawn to more these colors and this color. Like I'm not a huge this color fan, but I think this KAL is a perfect excuse to encourage me to cast it on. And so I'm going to make the Ballad Sweater by Sari Nordland. I actually have had it in my Ravelry library for a while and just been waiting for the right time to cast on. I was actually originally going to cast on with this, but I changed my mind and want to do it with this. So I think that'll be really beautiful. It's a lovely, like, kind of, the body is lace, but the rest is stockinette, and it looks really pretty. I think it would be perfect for transitional weather, but it's like 10 ply, so it's not going to be a huge ask. I can definitely feel like I can finish it within this KAL time frame. To summarize, the Opposites Attract KAL is all about pushing your boundaries in terms of your color choices and getting creative and just having fun with your color choices, doing something you wouldn't usually do. And I just want to give like a huge shout out to Sarah, my partner in crime in this KAL, partner in KAL, I guess, just for even encouraging me to do a KAL. Like that is something that's out of my comfort zone, hosting a KAL. So I'm super excited. I'm so glad she asked. It's such a fantastic idea, and I can't wait to see everyone who joins the KAL's project and see what they choose. I'm super excited. This is something totally new for me, and I'm just like thrilled to be doing this with a friend. And just in case you missed everything that I just said, instead of having to rewind to watch it all again, I will have everything linked down in the description below. So if you have any questions, it'll all be down there about the KAL. Alrighty, so let's get into the finished object that I have. I only have one, but I have quite a few whips to show you. Some you haven't seen. Every time I'm on here, you see whips that you haven't seen before, and that's because I'm a serial cast-oner. I actually said the other day that for every one whip I cast on, I think 2 whips go into the abandoned piles. So I'm trying to break that habit. I think documenting it on the internet really helps because it keeps me accountable. But you guys are so nice to me and never bring up when you never see a whip again. So maybe you guys have to stop being so nice to me and be like, Ashley, finish your whips. Oh, goodness. Anyway, let's get into it. This finished object you would have seen last time. I had pretty much almost finished them, but these are the Colorwork Cuff Club Socks by Summer Lee. This is the October pattern, and last time I saw you, I had finished one, and then I had, and I had pretty much like halfway through the foot of the other. I did end up giving these to John. They are blocked, and he has worn them, so that's why they're a little bit, funky and a little bit fuzzy because he has worn them, but they turned out really cute. He actually wanted to wear them tonight. He's going to the pub with a couple of friends, and I told him no because I have to film a podcast and that's more important. So unfortunately he didn't get to wear them tonight, but I think they turned out really cute. The Colorwork Cuff Club chart for for October were these little ghosts, and it worked out really well. I'm not going to go into like a lot of detail about these socks just because I did go into quite a bit of detail on my last podcast episode. But if you're not familiar with Summer Lee's Colorwork Cuff Club, I'll briefly explain. Essentially, it is like a multi-pattern essentially. So you purchase the Colorwork Cuff Club sock pattern one time and she gives you a new Colorwork chart for the cuff every single month. Oh my God. Oh my God, a dog just came to the window and freaked the cat out. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Yes, so she gives you a new Colorwork cuff chart every single month for up to a year, and you just implement that into the base pattern she provides in the pattern. Sometimes she gives you more than one Colorwork cuff chart. Like for October she did 2. She did the ghosts and then she did like an apple one. But it's really fun. It's really a great idea because if you don't want to do a whole Colorwork sock, you don't have to commit to that. You only have to do the Colorwork for the cuff. This is one of the shortest Colorwork charts that she's done, so it flew by really quickly and I really, really enjoyed it. For the yarn that I used in this, I used Rosarios4 Meia, and the colors are 25 is this main color here, that beautiful kind of rusty orange. And 4 is the white color there. It's like a creamy white color. Actually, I have them here. Yes. I used just under 100 grams of the main color. John's feet are very long. He has very big feet. So I'm glad that within 100 grams I could get enough for him. And then I use hardly anything of the white. Like it uses absolutely nothing. It's really great for scraps. And I think that's another good thing about this Colorwork Cuff Club is that you can use up all your odd like sock scraps because there's always leftovers when you do a pair of socks because you never use up the whole skein. So it's really great to utilize them. Now the Meia base by Rosarios is like a very classic 70% merino wool and 30% nylon sock, and I feel like it's kind of like it's a sport weight technically, but I would be a very light sport weight. So when I was knitting this on 2.25 millimeter needles, I just think it ended up making it the colorwork look really good and really dense, and it makes a really nice sock. I just did a slip stitch heel and gusset. That's what I use for all of my socks. Just super easy. I can do it off by heart now, and I like how it fits on feet. That's pretty much it. One other thing I wanted to comment on is that I did block these in like cold water with a wool wash, and someone in my last video did recommend like a color stay wash, but I had already blocked them by that point. But it didn't bleed. It didn't bleed at all. So yay. So yay, no stress, it didn't bleed, we're all good. The Meia also comes in 50 gram balls, which is handy if you like doing color work as well, because you don't have to buy a whole 100 gram skein, and they're really affordable. I really like it. It's not a super wash, so you can't wash them in the washing machine or in the dryer. They will felt. I had that happen to a friend. So just keep that in mind if you are looking into it. But they have a really good color range, and I really enjoy knitting with their sock base. I should say actually for the color work, Summer Lee asks you to go up to a 2.75. I do that. I know some people haven't do it because they feel like their tension's too loose. I do it though because I know that if I don't size up that I won't be able to fit it over my foot. So I opted from like knitting quite a few of the Colorwork cuff clubs now. I know that I need to knit like a larger size, and I have to go up a needle size when doing the color work for it to fit over my high arches. If you don't have high arches or wide feet, that might not be such an issue. But for me, I found out very quickly that I needed to size up. Okay, so that was a very quick finished object update. Now we're going to get into the whips. So the first whip I've got to show you is something that I have been knitting on furiously lately, even though it might not look like I have been, but that is my Mountain and Seas sweater by Sarah's Handmakes. And I've already mentioned her. We're doing the KAL together, but I was also accepted into her test knit to knit this beautiful V-neck jumper. Last time I showed you this, I was still doing the increases for the raglan stitches and for the V-neck, but I'm glad to say that I have finally connected in the round and I'm doing the body. So this is what I have gotten so far. So it looks a bit scrunkled up because it's on the needles, but I have finally connected in the round and I've worked like quite a few inches of the body. So I'm very, very proud of that. I will actually insert some video of me trying it on so you can see where I'm at the moment. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of progress on the sides there. It felt like it took me a long time to get there. And that's because about 3/4 of the way into the increases, I realized when I went to go connect in the round that one, I hadn't done enough increases, and two, I had mucked them up somewhere. So I had to like frog back about 10 rows. And when you're doing like a raglan that's this big, like in a bigger size, that's like over 300 stitches. So that's a lot you have to rip back and redo. So that kind of delayed me a bit, but after much concentration and commitment, you know, I finally got there and now we've connected in the round, and look, I've done so much. I'm so happy with it. I just want to wear it. I just want to put it on. The times that I have tried it on, it's so nice and warm and cozy. The yarn that I'm using for this is Drops Air in the color Sweet Orchid. And I got this from the Wool Warehouse. So the Wool Warehouse is based in the UK, but they have like cheap shipping to Australia. It's only like $15, and it's pretty much like the only affordable place you can buy drops. They always have drop sales. I think they have like a sale on some of the drops now. Not this, because I actually had to buy more of this because this yarn originally wasn't meant for this project. It was meant for the ballad sweater that I'm knitting for the KAL. So I had the quantity enough for that, but I don't have enough for this. So I actually purchased some more today. So that should arrive, you know, in a couple of weeks, but I definitely have enough yarn to keep going in the meantime while I wait for that to get here. Now the Drops Air is like a worsted weight blown yarn. So you can see that there's like a net. I'll just try and show ya. There's like a net in which like the alpaca fibers are blown through it, which makes it really nice and lightweight. And I chose this because I love the color, and I also thought it would, when I knit up swatches and stuff like that, this kind of looks better in a tighter gauge. I feel like in a looser gauge it looked really rough, but in like a tighter gauge I think it looks nice. However, in a tighter gauge, because it is alpaca, it is very, very grippy, which means that it just doesn't slide around on the needles like through the stitches very well. Like it holds its tension tighter. So I feel like it's taking me a long time to knit because it's just like I can't get into the rhythm. I can't get into the flow because the yarn is so grippy to itself. So that's my only kind of complaint at this time, especially when knitting the body, because you're having to go round and round and round. I just feel like it's putting extra tension on my hands because I'm having to like rip the stitches apart, like not rip them apart, that's a bit dramatic, but I'm having to like force them more apart because they like grip onto each other like Velcro so that I can like get my needle in there. So yeah, it just feels like it's taking way longer than a usual like merino yarn DK sweater would take. But I'm chugging along and I'm in love with the color. I'm in love with how soft it feels, and I just cannot wait for this to be done so that I can wear it. I'm super excited to do the collar. Some people in the test have already finished, which is like crazy to me. I've just connected in the round. I'm very excited to do this 2x2 ribbing collar. I love 2x2 ribbing, and I other people's folded collars look so good, so I'm very excited to do that. If I didn't already mention, it's a top-down V-neck raglan. It has a split hem and 2x2 ribbing on like all of the sleeves and the bottom and the neckline, and I'm just so in love with it. I cannot wait to finish it, and it's also super special that my friend wrote it, so I guess I'm a bit biased, but I don't care. To give you a little bit of more information about this, other than it's blown, I said it was alpaca before. It's 65% alpaca, 28% nylon, and 7% wool. You get 150 meters per 50 grams. So I originally had 9 balls. So it was like 1,300-ish meters. So I ordered 3 more. Luckily, well, I only had a choice to order 3 more because they luckily still had some in the same dye lot, but they only had 3. So I ordered those 3, and that will be more than enough. I might have leftovers to make like accessories in the future. And in case you were wondering what the needle size for this pattern is, it's a 4mm size needle. And I just love the thick raglan. I don't know if the fluff is hiding it, but I just think it looks so good. Yes. So the next whip that I'm going to talk about won't come as a surprise. I just talked about the October one. Now we're getting into the November one. So this is the Colorwork Cuff Club by Summer Lee, but the November charts. So for November, she released this really cool kind of traditional Fair Isle style. It's like very Nordic, gives me like wintry vibes, cozy by the fire, and I really liked it. But I did kind of, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, I am a little bit intimidated, and I think that's because the first kind of sample that she showed is like a multicolored version. I'll put pictures up. So I was a little bit nervous, being like, oh, I don't know if I want to do like multicolored strands. But then she also had a sample where she just did a main color and then did the colorwork in one single color, and I thought that looked really good. So I originally cast this on like a couple days after she released it because I really wasn't too sure if I was going to do another Colorwork Cuff Club. I thought maybe I'll have a break for November. I was like, I don't want you guys getting sick of me just doing only those socks. But then I thought, you know, I paid for it. Why not? And I had some really beautiful like bright orange yarn in my stash. Actually, it was this one here. Woo, so bright. It's like very like fluoro orange. And this is the Twisted Ambitions Sweet Sock in the color Sunrise. And I picked this up from Little Woolies like a few months ago. And I really, really loved how bright this was. And I had like a really nice kind of tealy colored, like, like jadey teal, like light minty, whatever. I'm not describing this color very well. Colored yarn that I wanted to pair with it. And I thought it would kind of give like popsicle vibes. But when I first started knitting up the Colorwork chart, I got about halfway and realized that, the contrast isn't strong enough. They're blending too much into each other and you can't really distinguish what the pattern is. So then I had to frog that. So that was sad. But this goes into another sock, which you'll see later, which is fun. But I'm not totally... Anyway, we'll get into it. Later. Anyway, stay with this one. But then I had some grey sock yarn, some Jawoll. And I thought, oh, you know what would look really nice with that grey? Some leftover Woolen Works flat feet that I have. And so that's what I did. And here it is. Oh my God, isn't it just so cool? I'm so proud of myself. This is like the most intricate color work I have ever done, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Oh, I'm so obsessed with it. I don't know if it's like the camera's blowing it out, if it's looking funny on camera, but oh my God. Yes, I'm so obsessed. So I had both of these in my stash already. I'd originally purchased the main color, which is Lang Yarn's Jawoll Superwash 7525 in light grey, which is like color 24. I'd originally purchased this color to hold double to do like a cable DK sock, but was really hating it. I won't mention the pattern because that's just mean. So I decided to pivot and reuse it to make this sock. And then this is the Woolworks fingering sock in the color Flat Feet. And she released this for her Barbie collection. So this is what they look like in their skeins. So that's what they look like together. The battery died, but that's okay because it gives me an opportunity to touch up my lip gloss anyway. Okay. Power on. So this is the colors together. So the blue one is Flat Feet and the grey one is the Lang Yarn's Jawoll. And I just thought they would look so good because this is such a vibrant blue and the grey is like beautiful. It's still heathered. It's kind of still got that heathered aspect in it, so it's not completely flat. And I'm just so happy. I'm over the moon really with how it looks. I'm just so happy with it. Like I've never done color work. Oh, I'll show you the other side because that's where the joint isn't. So intricately. It's so nice. Very, very happy. I've managed to get myself like halfway through the foot. I didn't have a lot of opportunity to work on this lately because I recently went to Sydney. So I was away. I took it with me and did some on the plane and things like that. But yeah, I'm not too sure if I'll finish this by the end of the month considering I have 2 test knits actually. One test knit you've seen, another test knit that you're yet to see. So I'll be pretty occupied, but I hope I finish them because I think they'll look really, really cute and I really love them. John really loves them too. And he said that about the last ones. I ended up giving them to him. Not this time. These are mine. Get your hands off my socks. These are mine. I can't give him everything that he likes. I want a pair of socks soon. Not that I don't have enough. Now, the Woolworks fingering sock is 80% merino wool and 20% nylon, and you get about 400 meters per 100 grams, whereas the Lang Yarn's Jawoll, it's 75-25, so it has 75% corridor, so not merino wool, and 25% nylon, and you get about 210 meters per 100 grams, so it's more of a light fingering, whereas the Woolworks is like a true fingering. And just like the other Colorwork Cuff Club, I'm knitting the Colorwork chart in 2.75 millimeter needles and then the rest on 2.25. I've used the Lang Yarns before and really enjoyed how it blocks out, and then I've used the Woolworks as well. I really enjoy both of them. I know the Woolworks might have a little bit of, I do worry that it might have a little bit of bleeding, but I might use that like color stay wash that a lovely viewer recommended me because I just want it to stay like nice and crisp and clean, and I'm very excited to see these socks blocked. So this one I was debating whether or not to include it in the whips because technically I haven't cast it on, but I really wanted to show you guys anyway, so I'm just doing it. I've knit the swatch, and so that's kind of like the start of the process, but I'm just so excited to tell you guys. So I am not a big test knitter, as you guys know. I have done one that's failed. I've done another, well, in the progress of another for my friend, which I am loving at the moment. And then I decided, I don't know, I'm crazy and I'm going to apply for another one because I don't already have a million things to do and it's like coming up to Christmas. I saw that Rebecca Clow, or the Crea Bear, posted on her Instagram and test call for the Staffin vest. And the Staffin vest is this beautiful top-down vest that has these like sections or panels of different textures. So there's like ribbing, there's like these kind of like pearl, diamond lattices, and then there's also these really cool kind of like faux bubbles. all these pearl details. It's just like really cool textured vest. And I saw her post it on her Instagram and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I want to make that. So I applied for the test knit, and I know she gets so many applicants. So I think I've applied for one of her other test knits before, but didn't get in, unfortunately. But I did get in. So within like a couple of days, she sent out the email and I was like accepted into the test knit, and I like screamed. I was so excited. And I know it sounds like super dorky, like even dorkier because I'm wearing her like merch, which is so funny. But like when I first started getting into knitting, like a couple of years ago, I went onto YouTube and started watching podcasts, and she was literally like, her and Katova Kika were the first two knitting podcasts I was ever exposed to. And I just like really gelled with her personality. She was super funny. She kind of had that like disheveled nature about her, which I found super endearing. And I just like loved all of her ideas and her enthusiasm for knitting. And I was really kind of inspired by her passion to continue and to experiment with knitting. And so I think it's so cool that like now I'm test knitting one of her patterns. I think that's like such a cool thing to do. And it was actually interesting because I actually know someone in person who test knits for her, and we're in the same test knit for this Staffin vest. So that's really cool because I met her in person and she's really cool. Her handle on Instagram is Continental Drift Knits. So go check her out because she's really fantastic. Actually, I might as well plug my own Instagram while I'm here. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at smash.knits. I post regular updates of all my projects and things that I'm working on and just knitting related content. So if you're interested in that, go check that out over on my Instagram at smash.knits. Yes, anyway, you've probably been seeing me wave it around, but I knew from the get-go that I wanted a limey green textured vest. I've been desperately wanting an excuse to buy the Sandnes Garn Sunday yarn in this beautiful color called Sunny Lime. I've seen a couple of people use this in their cable sweater patterns, and I was just in love with this limey color. I don't know if it would suit me, but I didn't care. I just love it so much. And so when I got this test knit, actually, that's a lie. I actually bought this before I got into the test knit. I kind of thought that maybe if I bought this, the knitting gods would bless me and get me into the test knit so that I wouldn't have bought this for no reason. And they did. They granted my wish and they got me in the test knit. And so now this yarn won't go to waste because I bought exactly the quantity I needed for the vest. And my intention was to hold this double. So I bought about 7 skeins because you get, what is it, 235 meters in a skein or a ball. And this is fingering weight. They're 50 gram balls. So I bought 2 of these so that I could make my size, and I'm knitting the size 8. It is fingering. It's 100% merino, but I was kind of hoping that if I hold it together, it would create a worsted because the pattern is written for a worsted gauge. It's written for a 16 stitch gauge, which is quite large. So I was a little bit concerned, but I kind of was just like, no, it'll be fine. And so when it arrived, I was like, oh, that does look a bit thin. I am a bit concerned. It also wasn't as bright as I thought it would be. It is still like a bright green, but I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but it is kind of slightly duller than what I'd seen online. So just keep that in mind. I feel like Sandnes Garn colors always look brighter in the images than they do when you get them in person. And I knit up a swatch and I did not achieve gauge. I was getting like 20 stitches per 10 centimeters, so I was way off. So I decided, because I think it was a public holiday actually, it was a Monday, to head down to my local yarn store, which is Little Woollies, and see if they had any mohair or anything that would match, because this particular colour, Sunny Lime, is actually being discontinued in the Sandnes Garn range. So I couldn't find any mohair, like enough in stock to purchase, and to buy it like overseas, I would just have been like astronomically high in price because 1, it's just pricey in general, and 2, the shipping would have killed me. I would have had to file for bankruptcy because it was just unbelievable. It would have been over $100 just to get the mohair for a vest. And so I did not want to pay that. So I was like, no, I'm going to head down to Little Woolies and see if I can test my luck and see if the knitting gods again would bless me. And they did. I must have done something to get in their good graces, because as soon as I walked in there, I saw that Little Woolie's, the actual like Little Woolie's brand, their Lacy Fluff, which I used for my previous vest, my Very Varied vest by Lydia Morrow, had this beautiful, amazing chartreuse limey colour in their mohair. I was so shocked. So these two together are just a match made in heaven. And so I gauge swatched again with these together, holding 2 strands of the Sandnes Garn and 1 strand of the Lacy Fluff. And oh my goodness, look at it. Isn't it glorious? I think it's getting blown out by the camera. I don't think you can really truly appreciate the beautiful green fluffiness, amazingness that's going on. But I'm so stoked. I'm super happy with how it turned out. And I achieved gauge, and it's so soft and it's so fluffy. I don't know if you can see how fluffy that is, but it's super fluffy. And I know, like, I'm not a big fan of mohair in general, but Julie's Lacy Fluff is really soft and she does a fantastic job of dyeing it. And I use it for my other vest. And I think if you're quite sensitive to mohair, incorporating it into a vest where you can wear like a t-shirt or undershirt makes it a lot more wearable, because I love the properties of mohair. I love that like mohair is anti-pilling and it's insulating. I love everything about mohair except for the feeling of it on my skin. So I always love to incorporate it into a vest. And it's so funny, actually, I just realized that I combined this mohair, Julie's mohair, Little Woolie's mohair, with my very, very vest that I just made. I'm going to make my Staffin test knit with this mohair, and then I actually have other mohair and other yarn that I've bought to make another vest. I think Julie from Little Woolies just knows my color palette and does it so well, so I'm always just gravitating towards her colors. But yes, I'm very, very excited to make this textured vest and be part of this test knit. And you can see here, these are like the different kind of textured panels. So you've got like your 2x2 ribbing there, which is really cute. Then you've got kind of like these pearl rows, and then these here are really interesting. So these are like the faux bubbles, but these are actually called Estonian buttons, and they're actually really fun and really easy to do. I think they look way more effective than a traditional bubble that I've done. I feel like my traditional bubbles look really messy, but these look really neat and look really cute. And then this here, I hope it's like picking up, you can see is that kind of pearl lattice diamond pattern that's also really cool. But yeah, I'm super stoked with how that turned out, and I'm excited to cast on and actually start. Now for the Lacy Fluff, I should say you get about 400 meters in 50 grams. I was really lucky to meet gauge of these 2 strands of fingering plus the mohair, because I know a few people have had to use the worsted and then add mohair to that, because 16 stitches is quite a large gauge for 10 centimeters. So I'm very glad that this worked out, because I don't know what I would have done. It is knit on 5mm needles, so I can imagine that because the texture isn't like cable, so you don't need a cable needle, and it's knit on quite a large gauge, and it is just a vest, so there's no sleeves, I think this would fly by like really quickly. And I think all the ribbing is 1x1 ribbing, and it's not folded, so again, like I think I could churn these out pretty quickly, and I want to, because I have some yarn for another kind of variation of this, but a bit different, a bit more experimental. And just to wrap up, I'll give you a bit more detail about the yarn. This Little Woollie Makes Lacy Fluff has 400 meters in it per 50 grams, so they're 50 gram balls. And then I said before, this is 235 meters per 50 gram ball as well. And this is 100% merino. I'll get the details right one day. And this has 70% kid mohair and 30% silk. Okay. Alrighty. This next whip is my Salty Days sweater by Veronica Lindberg, or Katova Kika as she's known here on YouTube and on Instagram. And I am knitting this as part of the Salty Days KAL. Now, I don't know if that's still running. I think it like ends this month, but I have been prioritizing my test knit, which is why I haven't finished this. But last time you saw this, I had just started the sleeve, and I'm still on the sleeve. I haven't really done that much progress. I feel like I should have, but I've been, oh, sorry, hang on, I'll grab those so they're not clanging about. But I feel like I should have done way more progress, but I've just been really struggling with this sleeve. It looks really tight, like it looks really skinny actually when I hold it up on the camera, but it does stretch a lot because it's 1x2 ribbing. And I think that has to do with why this is taking me so long. Because this is 1x2 ribbing, it's just not so fun to knit on. It just feels like a slog. There are a lot of parts of this garment that are ribbing. You've got ribbing up here, you've got ribbing on the collar, you've got ribbing on the bottom, you've got ribbing on the body. Everywhere is like, there's ribbing everywhere. And so by the time I got to my sleeve, I was kind of like, I'm sick of ribbon. Like, I really am kind of over knitting rib. So that's kind of discouraged me, I guess. I've lost my fire, my steam for this project because of all the ribbing. And then as well as because of it's like so like cinches in, I couldn't use my normal circular like 40 centimeter circular needles that I usually use when I do my sleeves. Instead, I had to buy double pointed needles, 5mm ones, and I ended up using those, and I actually really enjoyed the actual needles themselves, but it was just becoming way too fiddly, and I found that I could only knit like a couple of rows at a time before I got like frustrated and was just like, no, I'm not going to do this. So I decided to just try Magic Loop, which is why you can see it like that now. And again, it's better than using the double pointed needles, but it is still a pain to do. I just feel like it's never ending. I feel like I'm never going to get to the panel that the lace is at, and I'm never going to finish this. It just feels like it's going on forever. And I really, really love it. I feel like everything else didn't take that long, but the sleeves are taking like a decade. Probably doesn't help that I've obviously been prioritizing my other whips, like my test knit and stuff like that. And I couldn't take this with me to Sydney because it's too big. So that's why I opted to take the sock instead. So it's just kind of been put to the side, as well as like it doesn't have a deadline. It's not like a test knit, so I can kind of do it whenever. And the fact that it's getting a bit warmer here is like, I'm like, oh, when am I going to wear this? But I do want to have it for when autumn comes around in March and it gets colder. So I really do have to get onto it because I love it. And I think it's so nice. And the yarn and the color of the yarn, oh, I just love it so much. So this yarn here is the Knit Picks palette in the color Bluebell. And every single time I show you, it kind of blows up and looks kind of weird and makes the color grading look greeny. Yeah, it's making everything look green. Yeah, it kind of messes with the color grading, this color. I don't know why. It makes it look really funny. But yes, I'm really enjoying the actual yarn itself. I really like the pattern, but the only thing that I'm struggling with is the sleeves. Other than that, I'm hoping to finish it hopefully before March next year. That's the goal. I know I won't get it done in January because I've got the oppositesattractkal, and then I've got the 2 test knits, and one's due at the end of December, one's like at the start of January, and then I want to have my ballad sweater done mid-Feb, like before the KAL wraps up. So I don't have complete faith that I'll get this done in before the end of the year. But yes, I don't have a lot to say or update you on this one. If you would like to know more about this project, I do go into more detail on my previous podcast, so go check those out. Yeah, I go into way more detail about the yarn, about the pattern and everything like that in those. Okay, so now I get to show you what that orange yarn is being used for. Now I'm keeping this project in a new project bag that I bought actually. So this is an adorable flower printed, like quilted zipper little baggie that I got from this place called Lady Jane Made. See that there? And she was selling these at the market in Sydney. So like I mentioned before, I went to Sydney like a week ago with some girlfriends. We go every year just for like a little weekend getaway. And last year we went to Bondi Beach, and this year we went to Manly Beach, and they have a market there every Saturday and Sunday, like a handmade market. And there was this lady, Lady Jane Made, selling these really cute quilted project bags, and I picked one up because I thought it'd be perfect for like multicolored socks, and it is so cute. And so I'm keeping my project in there. It's like a perfect size to fit like two 2 kegs of yarn in there. And then she was selling ones of all different sizes, but she also had like these cute little mini ones as well. That is so cute. And I thought those would be cute, like for little notions and stuff. So cute. So I picked up one of those to go with this. And in here, I have some Trompe Le Monde socks by Summer Lee. Now, this is actually out of her sock project book. If you don't know what that is, it's the book written by Summer Lee, which contains about 25 sock patterns of all different types, textured, cabled, colorwork, the whole lot. Yeah, I've talked about it quite a bit in previous podcasts. I absolutely love it. And gosh, maybe 6 months ago now, I attempted to make them and ended up making them too small because the Trompe Le Monde socks are this beautiful slip stitch pattern socks. They're so gorgeous, and I'm knitting them in this really bright pink. This is Hedgehog Fibers Flamingo, so that's this color. And I'm combining it with Twisted Ambition Sweet Sock in the color Sunrise. So these two together, so bright. And when I did like that, you know, that contrast trick where you take a photo of the two like yarns together and then you put like a black and white filter on to see if they contrast enough, they contrasted a lot. So I thought this will be good. This will hopefully work. But yes, so the Trompe Le Monde sock is a slip stitch pattern kind of striped sock. It has 2x1 ribbing, and essentially you're just like creating this cool slip stitch pattern. I've currently put this on hold because I'm using the needles for my Colorwork Cuff Club sock, but I have kind of paused as well because I'm worried that the contrast isn't enough. Like I did the test, you know, and they look contrasting enough, but I also am still in doubt whether or not you can actually see the difference between the orange and the pink. Like, I don't know. I think they kind of blend in together. Can you guys let me know? Do you think I should continue with this colorway, or maybe I should pick different colors? Because I really like these two colors, but maybe they're just not meant to be used together. Maybe they're both too bright and they're kind of canceling each other out. I don't know. Can you guys help me? Let me know. What should I do? Should I continue or should I just scrap it and pick some other colors? And if you had any color suggestions to use instead, because I really like these two colors, if you had any other maybe suggestions that I could use instead, that would also be great. Now, like I mentioned before, I have made this pattern before and I made it too small. So if you're knitting this, the slip stitches don't allow for much stretch compared to like a normal stockinettes sock. So I would definitely recommend, if you have like higher arches or wider feet, to go up a size than what you would usually knit. It's taken me quite a lot of willpower to try this again, because if you were following my Trompe Le Monde sock journey, you would know that I knit the first sock completely finished, did not fit my foot. Then the second time I tried to knit it, I knit pretty much all the way to the toe and realized that I had done the decreases for the gusset and heel wrong. And so I had an uneven amount of stitches and the pattern was on like the wrong side, and I was just like gave up at that point. So I've been very discouraged with this pattern. It's nothing to do with Summer Lee's pattern. It's purely my fault. So it's taken me a lot to be like, yep, I'm going to try this again and hopefully not stuff it up this time. I'm just a bit uncertain about this color combination, even though I like the two colors so much. But I've had this Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn for quite a while, and I was intending to use it as like the contrast border of like a vest, but kind of have pivoted away from that idea. But I really love Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn. It's 90% merino and 10% nylon, so it is very soft, and you get about 423 meters per 100 grams. And then I've dropped this on the ground, sorry. For the Twisted Ambitions Sweet Sock, you get 400 meters per 100 grams. Oh no, sorry, it's the other way around. This is 400, this is 423, sorry. And it's 75% merino and 25% nylon. And I just love this color so much. I really want to use it. So I'm probably more convinced with trying to use this color than maybe the pink, if you guys have any suggestions. All right, so now let's get into the acquisitions. Oh, This is kind of embarrassing, actually. I'm just realizing, because I thought, oh, I only have this bag of yarn from Little Woolies that I bought. But then I realized, oh, wait, what about that vest yarn that I bought like the 2 weeks before that? So, oh God. Oh my God, this is so not good. I was really convincing myself, oh, I'm gonna like stash down. Like I was literally a couple of, what was it, like last episode, I was like so happy with myself because I'm using stash yarn for my projects. I was like, I feel so good about these because I'm using my stash yarn and that's really cool. And I'm so glad that I'm getting rid of both of these yarns that I've had for like a year in my stash. So excited. And then you know, I had a moment of weakness and ordered that yarn for my vest. And then I continued to have multiple moments of weakness after that. This is the result of that. Let's talk about the Staffin vest idea that I have. Now, I was thinking, oh, if I have time, which I only really need to knit one vest for the test, but if I do happen to really enjoy the vest pattern, I want to make another one, but I want to do it where I like break up each of the textured panels into like different colors so that it's kind of like a striped, but in a fun kind of way, because each panel will be a different, like each little textured section will be a different color. And I thought that would be really fun. So I haven't got all the colors here, but I wanted to use the Cascade 220 because I heard lots of people talk about it and really like it. And so I picked out a few colors, and Little Woolies have Cascade 220, but they didn't have all the colors that I wanted. They had 4 out of the 5 colors. So I ended up ordering the last color from the Wool Warehouse, which is coming with my other purple yarn. So hopefully that'll be here soon. But these are the colors I've got so far. Oh my God, they're so bright and they're so popsicle-y and very like spring, summer, very summer bright colors. So I wanted something really fun and bright, like kind of pastel-y. Like this very much looks like it's very similar to the green that I got originally, but you can see there they're quite different. Like this is very much darker. This is more yellow based. Yes, so they're very bright, very fun. Okay, so the colors that I got are the following. So we've got Golden Kiwi, which is this amazing, really bright, greeny, limey yellow color, this color here. Then this light blue is called Water Sprout, which is like, it's come up really vibrant on the camera when I'm looking at it, but yeah, it's like a light blue. Then this kind of like warm, bright, peachy pink is called Peony. And then I actually have no idea what this white one is called, but it's the color 8505. And the Cascade 220 comes in 100 gram skeins, and you get 200 meters per 100 grams. So there's about 800 meters here, which is like more than enough to make the vest. But there was one color missing. I wanted like a kind of reddy orangey color that would pop, which is called Camellia, and I'll insert a picture if I remember. And so that's on order, so that'll come as well. And I think this will be, ooh, nearly dropped one, got it. I think this would be a really fun, multicolored, kind of stripy textured vest. I thought like going with bright colors would look really good because you'd still be able to see the texture. My only concern is that I might not be able to meet gauge because the gauge is so big, but hopefully I do. Hopefully when it blocks, the Cascade blooms really well. But I've also been wanting to use Cascade for a while because so many people rave about it, and it is so nice. It does feel really nice. And yeah, it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool, which the Knit Picks palette is, and I really enjoy using that. So hopefully I have the same luck with these. I'm running out of places to put everything. Okay, last but not least, this is something I totally forgot about until I mentioned before. Did I show you guys this already? Maybe I did. I think I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. I already mentioned this. Actually, never mind. Actually, I just realized I have already shown this, so I don't need to show it again. Ah, that works out. Well, then that's the end then. We're at the end. Okay, well, thank you so much for sticking around. Again, if you would like to join the Opposites Attract KAL and push yourself out of your colour comfort zone, please feel free to comment down below with the heart emoji, or you can do the same on our Instagram post and I'll add you to the KAL. I'm super excited to do this with you guys, and I super encourage you to join. I think it'll be so fun, and like I said, I want to make it, you know, Sarah and I want to make it really engaging, so we've got a few activities and things planned. So yes, thank you guys so much. You know, we're nearly at 2,000 subscribers, which is so insane considering we literally just did the giveaway for 1,000. And like every podcast episode, I just can't thank you guys enough. I love making content for you guys, and I love this community and I love interacting with you. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that the knitting gods bless you as well like they've blessed me. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.